And we've talked about the skills and opportunities. Now, certifications, are they necessary or not? So the talking point would be value of certifications when it is useful, especially in sectors like cybersecurity, networking, project management, cloud, and DevOps. When certifications are also not necessary, alternative to certifications, portfolio, and project. So when a certification is useful, certification can be valuable. But it depends on the field. I've talked about this particularly for cybersecurity. So in the cybersecurity space, employers often expect certifications. In fact, to even get a promotion or grow, you might need to write more certification. It's a field where trust and proven knowledge are critical. So having something like CISSP or Capture Security Plus and a couple of other ones can actually be a requirement for many roles. In fact, if you went on LinkedIn and searched for cybersecurity roles, you see different employers who tell you certifications that you need to have. So for cybersecurity, you definitely need certification. And then network and infrastructure. You also need certification like CCNA, CCNP, and a couple of other ones. Cisco, those are Cisco certifications. So you need to be prepared to write those exams and to get those certifications. And project management also. So if you are going to project management, a PMP or Prince2 certifications can set you apart. It is crucial. Some people come in here to do masters, but in the end, you just realize you may not get a job, but that certification carries more weight. So you do not necessarily need to travel abroad to do a project management course or go to the university to do a master's in project management to get certified. You don't need to do that for cybersecurity. You don't need to do that for networking. Go and buy Udemy courses. It's cheap. When you're done, you prepare, pay for the exams and pass. If you pass this Prince2 exam, PMP, in Nigeria, you might get a job in different sectors. It's not just tech sectors that hire project managers. Hospitals do hire project managers. Construction companies hire. Government, NGOs. There's hardly any. Even schools. There's hardly any sector that does not hire or need a project manager. Like I said earlier, you just need leadership skills and time management, and then learn all the other theories, and you get the job. So, and then we have cloud and DevOps. Cloud is quite huge now. So having an AWS certification or Azure certification can be a plus for you. That doesn't mean that you may not get a DevOps job or cloud job without certification, but that certification will set you apart and give you an edge. Because, for instance, AWS, they have different certifications, Certified Solutions Architect, and a couple of other ones. Azure, they have Azure Administrator certification and a couple of other ones. So each certification you have, prove to your employer about the knowledge you've acquired around that, like for that particular skills. So, and then I personally do not have any certification apart from my BSc, because I'm a software developer. If you do software development, our certificate is a portfolio. So that's all you need. So you just need your portfolios, not certificates. Show people what you built, how you build them. Your GitHub is your certificate. Treat it as one. So that's why I encouraged software developers to contribute on open source project, because that's the easiest place to always make as much commit as possible. And then so that's and then UI UX, I don't think you would need certification for it. You don't actually need it. All you need to show portfolio as well. So you just need to show portfolio, show what you've done. That is your certificate. Business for people who are in data, you also do not need certificate. To be honest, you can learn it on Udemy and prove your skills, your portfolio as well. Excuse me. You can, is it Kaggle? You can you can build your portfolio, put them on GitHub, Kaggle, do some competition, post them on LinkedIn and a couple of other places. So so data scientists, data analysts, they don't really need certification. So an alternative to certification in most of these tech skills is portfolio and project. And this is super important for you guys. So I think maybe I think that will be open source for software developers. That will be is something that every aspiring software developer should consider. And then second, another thing is volunteering. A lot of us do not volunteer. Volunteer, free work will give you portfolio. Let your payment be a portfolio. You are digital, you've finished learning digital marketing. You don't necessarily need to start earning. Just pitch it to your uncles, just simply anybody that you think is doing a business that can pay. Don't worry, don't pay me, just give me the money. I will run the campaigns for you. If you do the campaigns and it's successful, that's an easy way. It's a 50, the person not losing money. A person, yeah, is losing some money if it doesn't go well, but you're not losing anything. At the end of the day, you have some experience that you can now go and negotiate with. Tell the person, look, I've got some experience now. I will need to be paid for my job. If the person doesn't pay you, you have a portfolio, something to show. I've helped this business to generate X amount of money, return more customers in the space of 6 months. That's a portfolio. That becomes your breakthrough. When after I learned how to build, finished learning website development, I was going to my church to ask them to just pay for the domain name and server, so I would build a free website for them. That to me was my portfolio. That didn't happen, but I was just going about looking businesses I never knew that I would just go. Then I was quite, so I would just go to contact from one shop to the other. Okay, I'm a software developer, I build websites. I'll just explain to them what a website is. Imagine having this conversation in 2011 with people, mostly traders. It was quite weird. Now I look at it and I just laugh. But that was all I needed to do, and just talk to them. Please let me build a website for you. All you need to pay is a server and a domain name. It will just cost you nothing more than 20,000 to set those things up. I'll build it for free for you. You can do that. You can build a website free for people, maybe portfolio website, just to show that you can, your potential customers, oh, I built that website and it's live. Do you get what I mean? You can do that for any other thing just to gain experience. So you don't necessarily need to sit back or just sit down and look for a paid job before you can gain experience. So just go around, whatever works for you. Just go out, volunteer. I mean, if someone walked into my company there in Nigeria and said, I'm coming to volunteer I just want to earn experience, don't pay me. If the person works in a month, by the following month, I would discuss salary with the person. Even that first month, I might be open to pay the person's transportation. So that's easy. That's another easy way to get a job. You do not necessarily need to get a paid internship, pay this. Just volunteer. If you already have a skills and you are a skill and you're looking for a job, just go volunteer. Within a month, 2 or 3 months, things might turn around. The person may recommend you elsewhere, because in the end, it's how people get jobs is mostly through recommendations, relationships, and all of that. So that can be an insight for someone. So strategies for job searching, there's Jobberman in Nigeria, LinkedIn globally, Twitter. Now Twitter has Twitter jobs. You can filter through Twitter. Andela, you may also, I don't know how Andela processes are, but it can be a good way to go. And application tips. So I talked about CV earlier intensively. So your CV your representative. Talk to your CV properly. And then if you are a software developer, try to do as much commit as possible. Have portfolio. I've talked about how you can build free portfolio. Go talk to your church, build a free website for them. Talk to your relative, build a free business, whatever. Just build a free website for them and earn a portfolio. You also earn commit. Your GitHub will look greenish and busy. And then also learn to communicate properly so that you can communicate your experience and your skills properly to your potential employers. And then interview preparation, just a quick, I think when you start getting interviews, practice common interview questions and also be ready to demonstrate skills. Usually how interviews will go would be, maybe you'll put your call through to you after you've submitted your CV, and then they might tell you when they will do an interview. It could be virtual, you go in. So they may just ask you technical questions. So there are a couple of videos technical question videos on YouTube, you can go practice. The fact that you know something does not mean that you can answer questions in that thing. I don't know the best way to put it. You can be a great software developer, but you do not know the theories. You've forgotten most of the names of things with that language. It could be, if it is like Laravel, for example. You may not remember to explain what jobs are, what Solid is means as an acronym, and a couple of other things. What container is. But you've been using them all the time, every now and then, but just going to YouTube to listen to some videos will help you. And then you can also use the documentation page for that particular language to learn, to go just read up some more things to prepare you for any interview. And then I will just give you an example of what typically I would do if, in the case of an interview, what employers are looking for in 2022 are employees that are proactive, who will take initiative. I have talked with some big companies in the course of trying to update their career pages, just to understand. And then most of them would say, their hiring managers, HR would say, they don't exactly, skills are great, but what they look for more is personality, because you can retrain someone, but you cannot change the person's personality, meaning that every company has a culture and they're looking for people who can fit into that culture. Training can be acquired on the job. Further training can be acquired on the job. You might not be excellent, but as you get along with your manager, on your colleagues, your skills can be perfected. But there are tangible skills like communication, listening skills, basically soft skills, problem-solving skills that can make a difference. Some people, you're a software developer, but you have marketing experience. That too can come in handy. Get what I mean? So those are things you need to communicate properly. So, for example, introduce yourself, Atimbo. My name is Atimbo Kudakong. I'm a software developer with maybe 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year experience. I've built this, I've built that, using this language, using that, maybe JavaScript to build this. And these are the challenges I faced while building them, and this is how I solved them. I built them with, it wasn't just my effort, I built them with a couple of colleagues in different sectors. So you just bring all your experience in that conference. You don't need to wait for them to ask you, what did you do in that project? What project did you build? What did you do? Don't wait, just explain yourself that way. Take the lead. Usually you might turn around the interview. So For example, in my own case, what happened during my interview? I explained myself, talked about project. We had a conversation. My manager, it was just a conversation we had. That was it. So we talked. The interview was supposed to last for just 30 minutes, but we spoke for 1 hour plus. We're just sharing experiences. Oh, when I worked on this project, this was what I did. These were the challenges. I was able to collaborate with the people from different companies. There's a particular project we did. The back end was done by us. The front end was already outsourced to another company, and then the marketing at some point we had to win it back, and that's all they need to hear. So then now you just tell them your story, tell them what you've done, and then they'll, oh, that was great. So how did you do? How did you manage through this? How did you manage? So the complexity, what happened? The questions will come around your story. When the questions come around your story, you have won that match, because this story is your own. It's different from a hiring manager writing questions to come and give to you, and the person gives information, you answer back. Person tells you, you answer back. You might not stand a chance to win, because you've created a competition for yourself. But tell a story about yourself. Find a way to make them believe it. Buy the story, and listen for more. Ask questions around you. You have an 80% chance if you do it that way. So that's the. And again, this is not. I'm not an expert. It's just from my experience. Basically, I've also interviewed a lot of people when I was in Nigeria, so I can also tell you, people that gave me that positive look, it made it easy. There's someone that you just interview and your spirit before you even conclude, you will just be praying, let this person do it, or let this person prove me wrong. Like, let this person just give me what to keep the person with, But there's another person that will come in and the person is just so boring. It's not proactive. And maybe you've interviewed like 5 people that day, you're already exhausted and tired, no life in that person. You'll just be waiting for that interview. In fact, you might cut it short. If the person just, out of 5 questions, the person gets 2 incorrectly, you can just tell the person, okay, we'll talk to you later, and that's it. But when you go there with a positive energy, that's how you talk with potential, with hiring managers, maybe a lineup of them, they're already tired. They just start laughing. And before you know it, they won't ask you they already have loved you, they like you. Before you know it, in this country, it happens a lot. Some people go in and then it's never an interview, it's just conversation. Oh, so what did you do? What did you study? I studied this. How was school? How was this? Do you have kids? How many kids do you have? Oh, you married? Oh, that's great. Blah blah blah. That's how. So interview turns to conversation. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. It now depends on you. You do not necessarily need to wait for. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is, be proactive. Take the stage. Tell your story. Tell it effectively. Get people to buy it and believe you, and you might just get a job. So in conclusion, opportunities are everywhere. Do one thing that moves you forward. So like we're rounding up for today, do one thing that moves you forward. One thing. If you want to buy that course, go buy that course. If you want to learn, go learn. If you want to decide what to do one thing every year. You now look at, what did I do? What did I achieve this month? What did I achieve this year? Push to GitHub if you're a software developer. Start the project.